Hello, 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 everybody. How are you this afternoon? All right, I'm very excited you're all here with me tonight, and this afternoon, sorry. We're trying to get out of here before the rain comes. I'm sure some of you have been seeing some of that weather notification. So let's make sure our interns get their due diligence. So I wanted to congratulate Haley, Lucas, Amir, and Ema on their Age-Friendly Teaneck Internship. Thank you, everybody. So on behalf of our team and partners, I'm really thrilled to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of our Exploring Careers and Aging Internship. We're excited to have such a motivated group of students here with us, ready to learn, grow, and explore the vital and rewarding field of aging services. We're proud to be hosting this internship. This is our 6th summer doing it. We started it in 2018. We took a couple years of pause during COVID, and then we restarted it with so much vigor and enthusiasm from our students. So all of the students during this internship are Teaneck residents because this is an age-friendly Teaneck initiative, and we're hoping through the initiative that people will want to age in place. They want to retire here, and we want to make sure that this is a safe home and community that they want to stay in. And although not all of our students are students of Teaneck High School, they are Teaneck residents and proud to be part of our community. So we do have 3 Teaneck High School students and 1 from the Lehman Manhattan Prep School in New York City. So I did want to thank some of our dignitaries from Teaneck Board of Education and Teaneck High School here. We have Dr. Marshall Scott, our Assistant Superintendent of Schools. We have Nadia Hussein, who's a Board of Ed trustee. We have Mr. Gabriel Tavares, who is our assistant principal at Teaneck High. And we have the Honorable Miguel Perdermo, who's with the forum and is one of our biggest partners with Age-Friendly Teaneck. Thanks, Miguel, for everything. And I want to also thank some people in the room that we have with us. We have some Brightside Family Board of Director members as well. I see Mitch here with us. I see some of our Age-Friendly Teaneck Advisory Board members. I see Ellen, Arlene, Janice. I don't know if I'm missing anybody. And we also have our Township Social Worker. We have Alex Saboni in the room with us. He can help support anyone who's in Teaneck residence. So whether you are a newborn and you're a mother or a parent of a newborn and you need some support, or you're an older person and you're really ready to take on some of the support services, Alex Saboni is your guy. And we also have Rachel Rebick. She works with the Bergen County Division on Senior Services, and she heads the Bergen County Age-Friendly Initiative, as well as the Dementia-Friendly Initiative at the county level. So we're very excited to have her here as well. And I would be remiss if I did not mention some of the amazing staff members with Age-Friendly Teaneck who helped it. So, hi everyone, I'm EJ Busy, and I am the Director of Senior Programs with the Brightside family. We also have Colleen Diskin here, and we have many other people with Age-Friendly Teaneck who are not with us right now, like Janice Dabney and Jackie Cates. So what does it mean to be an age-friendly initiative? So the World Health Organization started this in 2005, and the idea is to make sure that people want to age in place and that we're preparing for the baby boomers who are aging. So as of 2030, all of the baby boomers will be the age of 60 and older. And so what does that mean? By 2034, that actually means we're going to have more older adults in the U.S. population than people who are younger than 18. And that's the first time in the U.S. history that we're going to have more older adults. And so how do we prepare for that? The World Health Organization started preparing in 2005. And so within the U.S., we started thinking about that in 2012. And with Age-Friendly Teaneck, we started our initiative. We did a needs assessment in 2015, really reaching out to the community. What do you want? What do you need to be able to stay here? And so we launched our initiative in 2016, very excited and happily. And we've been doing it ever since. We were the 3rd municipality in all of New Jersey to be considering age-friendly thoughts and age-friendly design. And what does that mean? We're not just thinking about supporting older adults today, but we want to make sure we want to build a town that embraces aging at every stage in life for everyone. And so we want to make sure that people who are thinking about retiring, anyone in this room is aging right now. You're growing older, you're changing, and you're having life transitions. And so we're preparing for that. We've been excited to be the third municipality. There's nearly 30 in all of New Jersey at this point, and nearly 900 in all of the country. And so we really were near the forefront, and we're so excited that our interns were part of that. And so your work in this internship has really been part of that larger vision of helping to prepare for older adults. In March is Careers in Aging Month. Of course, we can't have an internship during March because they're in school, but it's a national effort to raise awareness about the wide range of opportunities to serve and support older adults. And the timing of this internship is especially meaningful as it aligns with the moment when our organizations and all organizations are highlighting how essential aging professionals are and how many more we need. It's said that, I think the number, Colleen, correct me if I'm wrong, we need 34 million more aging professionals in the field to meet the demand of older adults in America by 2030. That's less than 5 years away. And so we need to make sure we're bolstering, we're excited, we're enthusiastic about it. And as the interns learned during their month with us in July, just because you're not a specific designated aging professional does not mean you can't think about what the needs are of older adults. Any field, any career field also is thinking about the wide range of their constituents, their population, their audience. And so that's really what we were learning about. And so this internship has introduced them to diverse and impactful career paths. So whether you're interested in medicine, public health, urban planning, community services, we really tried to introduce our interns to that. And so I wanted to invite Ellen Rand to speak with you all. She has really been a pivotal volunteer with us with Age-Friendly Teaneck, and we call her our curriculum guru or curriculum coordinator to really talk about what they had done during their month with our professionals. So make sure the microphone faces up.
Okay. Excuse me for a sec. Hi, I'm Ellen Rand, and I'm just so happy to be here. I really am. EJ, what you need to know is that of all the experiences that our interns have had over the last month, to put together this big jigsaw puzzle of events and activities, mainly it's EJ's work. So thank you, EJ, and amazing. You know, we get started in the spring, and then we actually get moving in the beginning of July. For us, this is sort of like a bittersweet day. It's a happy day. It's a day of congratulations and celebration and everything. But it's also a day that we have to say so long. You know, we have to let you go, which, you know, we're not thrilled to be doing. But we want to celebrate you nevertheless. I wanted to give everybody a sense of what you've been up to for the past 4 weeks, which have just flown by. I have my little cheat sheet right here. Not technologically advanced, but it's right here. Okay, so in the course of the 4 weeks, they have made at least 9 visits to independent and assisted living facilities, some of them more than once. And this is basically to give them an opportunity to have intergenerational activities with people they might not otherwise have met in their day-to-day life. They've done things like help people with their devices, their technology. They've been doing singing and dancing. They've been in the heat, barbecues, helping set up and helping serve and everything, which is pretty remarkable. In addition to all that, they have had 5 lunch and learn sessions with people as diverse as an architect, a nurse practitioner who's also the associate dean of nursing at UPenn. I said architecture and technology, where we're thinking about, okay, what is life going to look like 5, 10, 15 years down the road? an elder law attorney, and others. And I want to point out also that each of the interns has had an opportunity to interview an appropriate professional, in order to work on their presentations, which we'll be getting to it in a minute. We have looked at 4 different films having to do with the aging process, 2 documentaries and 2 narrative fiction. And then we have a discussion afterward about how they responded to it, how they feel, and et cetera. They had a session with a woman who's on our advisory board, who runs a monthly support group for caregivers for people with Alzheimer's. And she was also part of describing her experiences with her mother, and we did a session on caregiving, what that's all about. We have not shied away from the difficult subjects. We've talked about some tough things, and we've also had a few giggles, some technical glitches and all like that. And they've also worked on their presentations in the course of the 4 weeks. The main reason that we have them do this is when we started this internship, which I have to, say thank you, Elizabeth, for coming up with an idea for why don't we have some way of teaching young people that there are opportunities out there that they might not be aware of otherwise. And also, why don't we get them interacting with older people so that they don't have the stereotypes in their heads about what old people are all about. We do want to kind of break through all of that. We don't want them to think of older people as frail and ridiculous and useless. So with those 2 goals in mind, what do? We have the lunch and learn sessions. We have sessions with staff people. They also had a session at Holy Name Medical Center to go to the simulation center and see how training takes place there. They've met with staff from various county organizations to see what kind of services there are available to older people. So we do that, we do the films, and we do the individual presentations. And what struck me this year is the seriousness of purpose that our interns took with them throughout all of this. And they've done this with open hearts and a sense of humor, which I love. And, just willing to learn and listen and pay attention. And for that, I thank you. It was really a huge pleasure to be with you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Haley first. The presentations kind of range from, we're talking about personal issues and on into societal issues, because again, we have not shied, thank you. We have not shied away from serious issues, the healthcare system, warts and all. And so we go from personal to societal. So without further ado, Haley.
We do not want presenting mode.
Here we go. So this is The Legacy Story of Francesca Madrid by Haley Antigua. So a little about me. My name is Haley Antigua. I'm a rising senior at Teaneck High School. I play the flute and have been playing for 9 years. I'm the president of Studio 2B, a girls' empowerment club, and I play tennis and have been for 3 years. I wanted to interview my grandma because I've always wanted to learn about her early life in Colombia and in New York. However, there was a distance between us due to a language barrier, which I'm working on. My family is extremely important to me, so learning the story of how we came to be, thanks to the strength, love, and sacrifice of my grandparents, deepens my appreciation for them. Additionally, I think we should all commit time to learning about the older adults in our families, which is something that I came to realize is a gift when interviewing my grandma, but also throughout this internship. Throughout this internship, I traveled to many different facilities for older adults, and when talking to them, they would tell me that their families live far and don't visit them often. It made me realize that to have my grandparents on both sides of my family near, in their homes, and in good health is a blessing. So who is Francesca Madrid? Francesca is my beautiful, lively, and caring grandmother. She was born September 29, 1953 in Cartagena, Colombia. Her favorite color is red, and she loves to dance. She also has a passion for growing plants and flowers. So a little bit about her. My grandma enjoyed her youth in Colombia due to the freedom kids had there. She loved to go around Cartagena and play with her friends. She had a comfortable upbringing because her family was stable and provided her with everything she needed. For example, her mom was a seamstress. Her mom was a seamstress who made her clothes, and her dad worked to provide for the house. She enjoyed going to school in Colombia, but the students wouldn't take school seriously. However, people would learn different trades by experience. What I mean by this is, the students wouldn't take studying seriously to strive for the best careers or top colleges, contrast to how students are now. Instead, they learned their careers through experience. For example, my grandma's mom didn't go to fashion school to learn how to sew, but instead learned. It would be the same case for a chef, who wouldn't go to school specifically for culinary, but would learn how to cook through experience. In Colombia, she loved to go out and dance in the tropical weather, along with going to the beach, where she created some of her favorite memories. As a young girl, my grandma aspired to get married and become a mom, which was due to the influence of traditional gender roles in Colombia. It was at a party in Colombia where she met my grandpa. Once they met, they started dating and became inseparable. After my grandpa came to New York first to see the city, my grandma came next when they were near their 30s. They had 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. However, it was difficult for her because she stayed at home to take care of them while my grandpa worked as a mechanic, as seen here. She loved to live in New York, and it was easy for her to adapt. And it was also where she learned the New York mentality. Don't mess with anyone, and they won't mess with you. She is ultimately glad she came because she found and created her life here that she knew that wouldn't have been possible in Colombia. When her children grew up, she moved to Teaneck. She had a job as a caretaker at Care One before she fully retired. My grandma is a businesswoman, and taking care of her Airbnb in Colombia is a regular routine. Whether it's making sure her house is prepared for guests, taking new clients, or managing her Instagram account advertising the Airbnb, she is always on point. Additionally, she reaches out and communicates regularly with our family in Colombia. She loves to keep up with them and share how she and our family are doing, especially with the help with photos and videos. She takes care of her numerous plants and flowers, cooks delicious meals, takes care of her dog Sophia, and watches her favorite soap operas daily. The most important lesson my grandma learned in her life is to take charge for what you want. You shouldn't rely on your parents, or anyone for that matter, to hand you the things you want for yourself. She would have liked to continue her studies and schooling in Colombia, but otherwise wouldn't have done anything differently. She is fulfilled and happy. A life well lived, in her opinion, is the life she lived. She describes it as being able to live comfortably, never deprived of essential needs, and surrounded by her loving family. She is so proud of the children she's raised, along with her grandchildren, and she would like to be remembered as a joyful person who loves to have a good time and party. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. And it's clear the influence that her grandmother has had on her, because Haley was quite the intuitive, inquiring, and spunky person throughout this internship. So I really appreciate all that the legacy that her grandmother had lent to her, and I think her family's support really shows in the life experiences that she shared with us. So thank you to her family as well. So next up, I want to introduce Lucas Paulino. Is it in?
So I have to work.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, full screen mode. Bring it to the group.
Okay. Okay. Wait, is there a way we can make it full screen? Okay. Okay, we'll work with this.
You work with it, or you want to go in full?
Okay, there. Yeah,
Yeah.
slideshow. There we go. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Lucas Paulino, and I will be sharing a presentation with you guys on music and the mind, specifically understanding cognitive health through music therapy in the lives of older adults. So a bit about me. I'm a musician and multi-instrumentalist. My first instrument is the piano. I self-taught myself trumpet and guitar, and I play euphonium in 2 of my bands at school. I'm also a filmmaker and an avid composer. I use my musical knowledge to score a lot of films. And in the future, I'd like to become a clinical psychologist and help people improving their mental health and well-being. So why music therapy? Music therapy was a topic that interested me because it blended my 2 passions of psychology and music. Also, throughout this whole internship, going to these different facilities, the one thing that I really saw and noticed was that music was present in all of these facilities in one way or another. Whether it was somebody reminiscing over Frank Sinatra or listening to the Beatles 24/7, I found that music was a part of these facilities that really impacted people. So I wanted to learn more about music therapy and its impact. So first, I just want to address some stereotypes and tell you all what music therapy is and what it isn't. So it isn't just listening to music or putting on Spotify for somebody to hear. It's not just for entertainment, and it's not solely passive. So receptive therapy involves listening, but active music therapy involves singing and dancing and movement and real cognitive stimulation. So it is also a holistic approach and a multimodal means of expression, so meaning both verbal and nonverbal. And it creates a source of meaningful experiences between the caregiver and their loved one, but also the music therapist and the patient that they're working with. So a 2022 study from the National Institute of Health really shows this impact. As you can see in the graph, only by 16 sessions twice a week can we see improvement in social interaction and creativity. Also, depression is minimized through these 16 weeks. And the aim was really just to see how the quality of life of institutionalized elderly people can improve. And there is a change, and the evolution is shown in this graph. So for some numbers, there are 5 million adults in the United States right now living with dementia, including Alzheimer's. This means around 10 million caregivers, adults, and loved ones who have to tend to those adults and care for them. So of these, 20% reside in care facilities, and 80% either live alone with others or with others in their communities. So this means that there's an importance on both group music therapy, but also one-on-one therapy and that individualized approach. But how does it work? So long-term memories are memories that are highly emotional or vivid that we can remember from our childhood or adolescence. But with older adults with dementia, these long-term memories start to fade in the later stages. So why is music therapy so special? Well, music is one of the few things that activates both hemispheres of our brain, both sides. So this means that all the areas of the brain tissue that are lost are remained through musical therapy and musical memory, which is stored. In the late stages of dementia, that's why people remember songs better, and that's why people remember the highly emotional moments that they had associated to this music. And that's what I found was really present in the facilities that we went to. So I took, in efforts to understand this better, to what I know best, which is media and film. And I watched these 3 documentaries, 60 Minutes with Tony Bennett, Alive Inside, A Story of Music and Memory, and Glenn Campbell's documentary on I'll Be Me. And if you haven't watched these, I highly recommend them because they're all great. But what I found is that, using this top quote in the 60 Minutes special with Tony Bennett, who is a singer and songwriter, him and both Glenn Campbell were diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's, respectively. And Tony Bennett's doctor, Dr. Devi, says that through his journey, even though he didn't know what the day might be or where his apartment is, he can still sing the whole repertoire of the American Songbook and move people, which I thought was really fascinating because as we're losing our memory, or in this case of Tony Bennett, who is going through his journey of dementia, he can still remember the whole American Songbook, which is a lot of songs if you don't know, and he could still sing them and remember them and captivate people. So in this case, dementia is not a limitation. So I took further measures and I went out and interviewed the kindest person in the world, music therapy intern Lorelei Eck. And she has a bachelor's in music therapy from Elizabethtown College. She's also a vocalist and multi-instrumentalist. And she's working for her certification as a music therapist. But what I found is that she also had some points about the whole system and how it works. So unfortunately, some states do and some states don't recognize licensure in order to be a music therapist. So that means right now in New Jersey, anyone can go claim they're a music therapist whether or not they pass the Board of Certification exam, which is kind of surprising to me because that means that there's ethical issues in terms of how do you know if somebody's getting the right treatment or not, because there's a music therapist that's not certified. But looking ahead, music therapy is proven as a cost-effective alternative. So although some professions in healthcare or therapeutic professions don't quite recognize it, research shows that it is actually the most effective form of therapy. And if you can calm someone through music, you don't have to medicate them. In terms of the future, Lorelei said that she doesn't think that the importance of face-to-face social interaction will ever go away. And I agree. I hope that AI will never be able to replicate face-to-face interaction. But to wrap up, I want to stress the importance of music therapy as a non-pharmacologic treatment. So that means that there's no medication involved. And I have a quote from Dr. Alexandra Martini Oliveira and colleagues saying that non-pharmacologic treatments such as music therapy pose fewer side effects than pharmacological remedies. And music therapy has been effective in reducing behaviors and psychological symptoms of dementia. So this is important and it matters because music therapy is effective and it should be implemented more into these residencies and communities. It has been shown to support cognitive health, especially in aging populations and people with dementia, by easing their symptoms such as agitation, confusion, and sundowning. But it's important that we bring awareness to this, especially certification, because we want to ensure that music therapists are trained, that they are ethical, and they can provide the proper care needed and the help needed for these patients with dementia who are struggling through loneliness. But as all matters such as this one, it's important that we advocate for this integration. And ultimately, it'd be great if there's some sort of music that's personalized in every single residency and home that houses older adults across the country. So that's the ultimate goal. And I think that it's super important because music is something that we have from the day we're born to the day we die, and I think it should stay that way. So thank you all for listening, and yeah.
Thank you, Lucas. And he failed to mention that at some of these residences that we visited during this internship, he had joyfully played piano for the residents. So not only is interested in music therapy, but is also providing it. And thank you to Lucas's parents and family for always supporting that. He's a very bright young man. So I look forward to seeing him as a future clinical psychologist. All right, next I'm going to introduce Amir Arif.
Sorry. Hello, my name is Amir Arif. I'm a rising junior at Teaneck High School, and I joined this internship to learn more about elders. I wanted to have full hands-on experience with elders as I believe that they're an underserved population, especially in Teaneck. With this internship, I had numerous experiences with older adults, and I also spoke to many individuals in starkly different careers. And I wanted to conduct a career examination of such professions and explain how they serve elders. To start off, I want to introduce some general statistics about older adults. In America, the population of individuals who are 65 and older are predicted to increase from 58 million in 2022 to 82 million in 2050. This is due to the medical advances which are predicted to be made, thus increasing the longevity of life. The demands and needs for elders are predicted to also change as the cultural norms are evolving and changing over time. For example, baby boomers who are aging into retirement have different expectations, health profiles, and cultural values compared to the previous generation. Also, if you take a look at this graphic right here from the US Census, the saturation of individuals 65 or older steadily has increased in the past century. So overall, what do all these statistics mean? It means that as the population changes, the demand for careers in elder care will grow. With this internship, two careers stood out to me individually. Nurse practitioners appealed to me as they ensure the medical safety, dignity, and health of elders. Elder law attorneys also interested me, who safeguard the elders' autonomy and legal security. I interviewed two individuals for information, which I later use on in my presentation. I interviewed Selena Ann Gills, who is the Associate Dean and Community Engagement Planner of UPenn, who is also a certified clinical educator. I also interviewed Robert J. Romano, an elder attorney of Andorra Romano, LLC. To start off, I wanted to detail the education of a nurse practitioner specialized in elder care. So nurse practitioners begin as registered nurses with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. They pass the NCLEX, as there's no medical school being a nurse. They pass the NCLEX after college to become a registered nurse. They then take a master's or doctorates in nursing with specializations such as adult germinology and primary care. They're licensed for diagnosis, treatment, and prescriptions, and their roles are similar to physicians, though practice authority varies, depends on particular states, because physicians can practice by themselves, but there are many restrictions regarding nurse practitioners. Transitioning to the daily responsibilities, nurses have very flexible work hours, and they need to work at least a minimum of 40 hours each week. These are the possible shifts of a nurse. They typically, from a day-to-day basis, they review their schedule, which is specially regimented, and they meet with patients. Appointments last around 20 to 30 minutes. They will start off with questioning patients for symptoms, and afterwards tests are made. They may distribute MRIs, blood works, ultrasounds, depending on what symptoms are outlined. And afterwards, formal diagnosis or prescription is followed. Nurse practitioners are in demand, and in the future, they are projected, their career demand is projected to grow over 40% in 2031. The shortage of physicians will cause nurse practitioners to start leading primary care in geriatric settings. AI will affect the future of the field, as most new tools will start simplifying tasks such as diagnosis and monitoring systems. Also, most health records will become digital, and predictive analysis will begin help track the health deterioration, and AI will also assist in shortening triage, which is the task of assessing urgency and treatment. Moving on to the law field, elder law attorneys will start off their undergrad degree followed by 3 years to earn their Juris Doctor. Individuals can receive financial aid through different jobs or corporations. For example, Mr. Romano worked for Phillips Moore and received a scholarship to St. John's. With law school, there are many foundational courses offered which cover geriatric legality. Within the second year of law school, lawyers will go out in the field and work. They'll take clinics and externships. For example, Mr. Romano, once again, he worked as a clerk with a jury who also assisted in finding him a firm. He was also working with law enforcement, which gave him a 25% financial aid at St. John's. Once law school is completed, attorneys will pass the bar exam and start working in firms before specializing, and they may also join many different organizations and pursue certifications in elder law. For example, the NAELA, which is the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys, or they may pursue other certifications. Within their daily responsibilities, they meet with 5 to 6 families a day. They draft opinion letters after their meetings and send them to the clients that they met with and work with them if they accept their plan. If they own their own firm, alongside these tasks, they must also run their own business. This means reviewing lawyers' performance, hiring paralegals and secretaries, dealing with payroll, bookkeeping, and etc. These are the legal services provided within their scope. They may review this during their meetings. For example, if a client may need a Medicare application, they may exemplify a simulation of an application. Since there are many legalities and many small regulations regarding Medicare. The future for law will strongly be influenced by AI as a general spectrum. Within the 20 to 30 years, many tasks will be automated, such as contract generation, legal research, financial audit automation, and document review. OpenAI and DeepSeek are platforms that already streamline elder law cases and assist in trust planning. Also, as you can see here, I outlined 2 new chatbots that have just been developed that assist lawyers, such as Nextlaw and Case Text. They both assist in streamlining reviews of documents, which create accurate diagnosis of documents and overall simplify tasks for lawyers and attorneys. Within the collaboration, overall, both medical and legal professions work hand in hand. Nurse practitioners document health conditions, cognitive deterioration, and health preferences, which inform living wills and guardianships decisions. Attorneys rely on such records to draft healthcare proxies, directives, and long-term care strategies. Both professions ensure the physical, legal, and overall health of the elders. And in conclusion, nurse practitioners and elder law attorneys address both the medical and legal dimensions of aging, ensuring elders are not only healthy but also protected and empowered. Individual care relies on the collaboration of both nurse practitioners and attorneys. From AI-assisted diagnostics to predictive legal planning software, innovation will define how elders receive care, preserve autonomy, and manage complex needs. Advanced training pathways reflect a growing demand for elder-focused professionals, and both fields are rising to meet that challenge with purpose. And protecting the rights, dignity, and well-being of older adults is a responsibility that must continually evolve. So, thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, Amir. And one of our favorite things about Amir during this internship is that he truly was exploring careers in aging. He did not walk in with a perceived idea of what he wants to do for his future. And so I think he had a really critical and curious mind as he was meeting our professionals during the lunch and learns and during even our some of the C-suites and executives that he was meeting, just really questioning some of their day-to-day lives. And so we love that about Amir. And I want to mention that our Age-Friendly Teaneck Internship is for rising juniors and seniors, and Amir was our sole junior for this year. So he's been very impressive for the month. I'd like to take this time to introduce Ima for her presentation. Oh, sorry. And of course, a big thank you to Amir's family for, of course, raising such a curious mind.
So, how much is retirement? A presentation about the price of aging by me, Ima Gose. So I initially joined this internship because I wanted to not only give back to the community, but also get experience in healthcare, because that is a career that I want to do. I chose to do my presentation based on money and price because it is something that's going to affect most people in this room, but that they don't really talk about. Personally, I know that the cost of retirement and elder care in not only the state of New Jersey, but in the country will affect my family and close friends. So I'm also a rising senior at Teaneck High. So let's start. Do you think you could afford to retire in New Jersey? Data from the Genworth Cost of Care Survey gives us the average annual cost of senior care. The annual price of elder care went up 13% nationally and 39% in New Jersey. The annual price of home health aid nationally ranges from $75,000 to $77,000, while in New Jersey it starts at $82,000. The yearly average price of a nursing home nationally is $127,000, while in New Jersey it is $180,000. The annual price average of assisted living in the country is $70,000, while in New Jersey it is $107,000. The price of long-term care in New Jersey exceeds the national average by $52,000. The price of assisted living in New Jersey increased by 38% since 2023, while the national average was only 10%. Did you know that all residential care in New Jersey, like assisted living, adult day health care, home health aides, and homemaker services, exceed the national average? Would you pay around $10,000 for mortgage or rent? These are some base prices of assisted and independent living facilities in Teaneck and New Jersey. Assisted living facilities charge extra for additional care. If a resident needs aid for meals or showers, the cost will be added to their monthly bill. Assisted and independent living prices varies based on the amount of space and room the resident would like. Some residents live with roommates to share the cost, while private rooms with extra space will be more expensive. Aging into poverty. The price of senior living is so costly that many people end up aging into poverty. Many older adults spend their life savings for long-term care. As they age, their savings run out and they can no longer afford the facilities that they call home. They will need to find alternatives that are more affordable. Would you be eligible for Medicaid throughout your retirement? Most older adults rely on Medicaid to pay for long-term care. The problem? Medicaid has a long and time-consuming application. It is 30 pages, requires detailed financial proof, including 5 years of bank statements. Medicaid has an asset limit of only $2,000. This includes your Roth IRA, your 401k, and life insurance policy if you have one. Strikes. Strikes are a warning on a Medicaid application that will delay the benefits of the people applying. If more than $2,000 is deposited or withdrawn over a period of time, the application gets a strike. If someone were to get their Medicare benefits in a month, a strike could delay it for 2 or more months. This is exceedingly dangerous for applicants in need. Most citizens who qualify for Medicaid only apply in times of emergency. In addition to complicated processes and applications, People's lives also are also complicated and play a part in the amount of care and resources that they receive. Here's a real life story from a social worker. Jane Doe is a resident at Brightside Manor, where she ended up after a fall at her previous nursing home. After an invasive knee surgery, she never fully recovered and became bedridden. Eventually, she ran out of money for room and board, but learned that she qualified for Medicaid. With the help of her social worker, Jane applied, but her application was denied because she had exceeded the asset limit in the previous 5 years. She applied a second time, but she was again denied because she was still legally married. Jane has been estranged from her husband for 6 years. She still needed his financial history to qualify for Medicaid, but he's been uncooperative and slowing down the process. Now Jane and her social worker are working with 2 lawyers, one handling her divorce and the other focused on the Medicaid process. They're hopeful that once the divorce is finalized, that the Medicaid process will speed up, although the lawyers have warned that it could take weeks or even months. How can we improve Medicaid? Bill number A4612 is a state bill that will increase the countable resource limit for the age blind and disabled, ABS, and long-term medically needy, including those who qualified for managed long-term services, MLTSS. If passed, this bill will raise the asset limit from $2,000 to $40,000. It is currently pending at the Assembly Appropriation Committee at 25% progression. Another way you can improve Medicaid is by getting rid of strikes. Getting rid of delaying benefits will get people the help that they need in emergencies. Senior activists are working at the state, local, and even the federal level to help shorten and simplify applications for senior resource programs. Can you name 3 assistant programs for seniors? While residential care in New Jersey is extremely costly, the state provides many assistant programs for elders in need. These programs help reduce the price of medical expenses and healthcare. The issue? Many assistant programs are not well advertised, meaning people don't know about them and don't take advantage of the resources. Many programs have time-consuming and inconvenient application processes. This discourages people from applying. People only find out about these programs in times of emergencies, and worse, many of these programs have wait lists. Here are 3 programs in Bergen County in New Jersey that help seniors. Cheers is a Bergen Volunteers program that provides weekly wellness visits and groceries for seniors living alone and in need. Chores is another Bergen Volunteers program that adds safety features to the homes of seniors like shower grab bars, and the New Jersey Hearing Aid program provides free refurbished hearing aids to eligible low-income seniors. How can we reduce the cost of retirement? Assistant programs and applications. To fix these issues, we can advertise these programs more by hiring navigators who go to senior living facilities and community centers to explain and help many people apply for these programs. We can mail pamphlets to seniors once they are eligible for Medicare. Usually when the citizens turn 65, they receive a Medicare package. We could add these pamphlets with senior resource programs in their Medicare package so they have something to refer to. We could educate the community and caregivers so they know where to get resources in times of need. We could inform primary care doctors about these programs so they could direct their patients to applications. Studies shows that seniors trust their family and doctors the most. Lastly, we can advocate for shorter and easier application process on the state level, local level, and even the federal level. Thank you.
Thank you, Ima. And Ima aspires to be a medical doctor as she gets older, and I look forward to her utilizing some of the knowledge and this information she learned as she really advocates for the people that she's going to be serving and their patients. I have no doubts that her future patients are going to have the best care in the world. All right, so I'm going to just tell you about the Brightside family. For a moment, so Age-Friendly Teaneck would not be here if it were not for our organization, the Brightside Family. So we're a nonprofit organization here in Teaneck. We're by the Dairy Queen on Teaneck Road, if you're not familiar. And we provide affordable housing, affordable assisted living, and support services for older adults from age 50 and older. And so really that falls in line with what we do with Age-Friendly Teaneck, because we want to make sure that people who are in any chapter of their life, whether they're ready for assisted living, they want to live in independent senior building, which is what this building is right now, and one of our buildings that we help develop, or whether they're in the community and they want to age in place in the home that they've been calling their comfort, their community, and where their family lives with them. We want to make sure that they're able to get the services that they are, or that they're eligible for, that they've earned through their decades of life. And so we do a lot of different programs within our Brightside Family organization. We do healthcare, financial wellness, housing, and community action. So please feel free to grab this pamphlet on your way out. I would be remiss if I did not thank the Henry and Marilyn Taub Foundation, who have really shown a lot of support to our organization through the years. They really started funding Age-Friendly Teaneck from the get-go almost a decade ago. They continue to support us in every way possible. And of course, the SMPS Family Fund, who specifically funds our internship program and provides a stipend to our interns so that they don't feel they're missing out on needing to possibly get a job or needing to do other opportunities during the summertime. We want to value their time and their experiences as well. So thank you to all those who support us regionally, locally. We are a nonprofit, so I do want to mention we do accept donations. If anyone wants to help support us, there's a QR code here as well next to our flyer. But without further ado, I want to thank the interns for an amazing month with you guys. I hope that you always think boldly, that you're always asking questions, constantly networking. I think that's something that they told me they really learned during this internship. And really consider the ways that you're going to be using some of your experiences through your life. So I'm so excited to keep in touch with you guys in the future. Oh. So I'm going to now move into the graduation ceremony, of course. This is what everybody's waiting for, right? And so first up, I want to introduce Amir Arif. Congratulations. Next, we have Haley Antigua. We have Emma Gosson. And Lucas Paulino. Thank you again, everybody. She's hiding in the back, but Elizabeth Davis is our executive director with the Brightside Family. She started our assisted living 35 years ago and has really grown it to be everything that we are now, from one small assisted living facility building to every advocacy and large development project that we do now all over the county. And so thank you to everybody. Thank you to the families. Thank you to our Teaneck Board of Ed and high school dignitaries. And let's eat some food before we get in the rain.